time correcting the mistake and examining how you arrived at the incorrect answer. And that's what I said. So I revealed the answer for the math problem. And then you go back and go, oh, that's what happened. I divided by 3. I should have multiplied by 3. And now next time you'll go, oh, make sure you look at PEMDAS. Make sure it's divide instead of multiply, or multiply instead of divide. This strategy can also help foster critical thinking skills and make you more adaptable in learning situations that require you to be able to make changes or to change your mind. So what has happened is my daughter is now in business for 4 years, and at appointments, the Brimness bed, we call it Brimes, but it's Brimness. That bed used to take her out. And so she didn't want to do it. And then God just said, okay, cool. Well, watch this. You're going to have 3 Brimes beds on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You about to figure this out back to back to back. By that 3rd bed on Thursday, she had a system in place. And now she put that bed together, no manual. We take it apart, move it. People move to another house, put it back together. No manual, no nothing. Bada boom, bada bing. So this thing used to be so complicated. But because of the critical thinking skills of what's the IKEA-ism and the best way to get it done, she is now able to do that. So much so that the appointments have become extremely complicated, because when they're not complicated, we're done in about an hour. We're like, oh, it's an easy day. It's a bed. Oh, it's a vanity. What else, man? We're going to be done 3 hours. It'll be an early day. But that's because of all of the critical thinking skills. So having to put things together in small spaces. Yesterday, we had to put a vanity together, and there was a stripper pole, exercise pole, I think that's what they call it. Anyway, in the loft. And so it was in the way. It was almost in the center of the room. So we had to split up the work between the 2 workspaces because that obstacle was sitting there. And then there were some cats that entered the chat at some point too. So there's always something happening, and you need those critical skills in the moment to still be able to do assembly, whether it's manufacturing defects, space constraints, pets or children coming to check out what we're doing, especially if we're making something for them. So all of that requires you to use your working memory. What is the best way to get this done? So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are your friend. They call it frog kissing. You got to kiss a bunch of frogs in order to land a prince. So as long as the mistake is something that you can correct, we're not talking about safety or something that's detrimental or life altering, but just these learning mistakes that happen. And so what happens is, as an adult, you get into your adult existence and you're like, yeah, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to ride this thing out until I'm no longer here. And what you find is that you are stuck in a rut. So then you double down on what you already know how to do. You start making more money, and it looks like you're progressing because you might have a bigger house, a bigger car, a vacation home, and all of this. You can leave money, living trust and wills and everything. So you feel like you're progressing, but you're actually not, because you don't have a beginner's brain, because there isn't something that you're actually a novice at. So that means your critical thinking skills, when you have to learn something new, is no longer there. As I've mentioned several times, your working memory starts to deteriorate at age 35. So anybody that's 35 and up on this live, we're all 18 and above, because I don't talk to children on lives on YouTube. So 35 and above, your brain is already getting ready to sit his ass down and do nothing. If you and by 65, that bad boy is checked out. Okay, and you older than that, you got to increase your working memory and your critical thinking skills. You'd be like, I used to be able to think about everything. Now I can't. What? Huh? And it just gets worse and worse and worse. So that's why you are always learning and making mistakes, because if you made a mistake, now you can look and say, okay, well, that didn't work. Now what do I need to do? And the brain will go, oh, you want to use me? Okay, cool. Let's think about this. So you actually need to keep learning. You need to keep using practical applications, and you need to keep making mistakes. When maybe it's been a while. So when Facebook was really popular, they had classes at our library, because we live next to a senior community. They had classes at the library to teach the senior citizens how to use Facebook so they could see the grandbabies. So this had to be like 2014 or somewhere around there. And they came in and they had their devices and everything. They were like, I got to learn how to use this because I want to see my grandkids. And so it helped them. And now that's why you have so many older people on Facebook, is because they were like, yeah, Facebook, social media. And then they realized, oh, I can find my friend from high school. I can find that one that got away. So let me go ahead and see. I can go spy on people. So that's why that group went, and there was a mass pursuit onto Facebook, because they needed to learn how to do it. But they had to make a lot of mistakes and post the wrong stuff in order for them to be able to be high functioning and do it. So if you are not making